Chapter 5. The Struggle for Liberation. The heavy darkness of Yaldabaoth's false world still clung to John, but the spark of hope within him had not dimmed. He had seen the twisted archons rule over souls trapped in the material realm, weaving illusions to maintain their grip. Yet John had also glimpsed the faint light of Gnosis, the possibility that these souls could awaken and return to the pleroma, the true source. The figure of light reappeared beside him, radiating a gentle but firm glow, as if preparing John for the next revelation. The struggle for liberation, the figure began, is a battle waged both in the external world and within the souls themselves. The archons bind souls to the material world, but it is within the souls that the chains of fear, desire, and ignorance must be broken. They are bound by illusions, and it is only through awakening that they can begin to free themselves. John turned to the figure, an urgent question burning in his heart. How can souls blind to the truth begin to fight against the archon's hold? If they cannot see their chains, how can they break them? The figure's light brightened slightly, as if to remind John that hope remained through Gnosis, the remembrance of the soul's true origin. But Gnosis does not come easily. Souls must struggle against the illusions that bind them. It is a difficult path, and not all souls are ready to see the truth. But even those who falter carry within them a spark of the divine, a light that can reignite. The air shimmered and the vision shifted. John found himself standing on the edge of a desolate plain. It stretched endlessly, barren and colorless, a reflection of the emptiness that filled the souls wandering through it. The air was heavy with a sense of despair and confusion. In the distance, John could see souls moving through the landscape, dimmed, their once radiant light nearly extinguished. Yet among them, he saw one soul that flickered with a faint but visible glow. It was different, caught between the pull of the material world and the distant call of something greater. The soul moved hesitantly, its light wavering as it was drawn toward distractions, phantoms of power, wealth, and pleasure that danced before it like mirages. Each time the soul reached for these illusions, its light dimmed further, the chains of the material world tightening around it. John's heart ached as he watched the struggle unfold. This is how the archons hold them, he whispered, through desire and fear, through promises that can never be fulfilled. Yes, the figure replied, its voice filled with sorrow. The archons create the illusion of satisfaction, the illusion that the material world can fulfill the soul's longing. But these promises are hollow, and every time a soul reaches for them, it sinks deeper into the false reality. The soul forgets its divine origin, believing it is nothing more than its body, its desires. The vision shifted again, and John saw the archons, massive, grotesque figures hovering above the souls. Their faces were distorted, their eyes empty and blind, yet they exude an aura of immense power. Each archon seemed to represent a specific aspect of the material world. One embodied fear, using the terror of death to control. Another ruled through desire, offering fleeting pleasures that kept souls ensnared. The archons whispered constantly, filling the souls with doubt, fear, and longing. John's breath caught as he realized how deeply the archons influence every thought, every action. They're inside them, he said, his voice filled with a mix of awe and dread. The archons are not just around them, they're within them, shaping their very thoughts. Yes, the figure confirmed. The archons sow illusions within the minds of souls. They create false identities, make the souls believe that they are separate from the divine. They use fear to keep them bound, fear of death, fear of loss, and desire to keep them longing for what the material world cannot provide. John's heart tightened as he watched the soul falter, tempted again by the illusions of the material world. The pull of the archons was overwhelming, and the light within the soul grew dimmer with each step it took toward the false promises. Yet, even in its struggle, there was a moment, a brief flicker, where the soul hesitated. It turned, as if sensing something greater beyond the shadows.